Hey, this show is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped. If you're a man and you need to be scaped, and actually Manscaped is for anybody of any gender, manscaped.com/dangle.
You still got the jersey, huh?
I do.
They haven't lost.
Free shipping, 20% off. Go Devils.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Powered by Sports Interaction. Canada's Sportsbook.
SDP. The Steve Dangle Podcast. With your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
By the time you listen to this show, you could be listening or watching the Leafs lose to the almost 14 straight win Devils. And I say almost because it hasn't happened as of this recording.
Well, the game hasn't gone to overtime yet.
That's right. Yeah, it's fair enough, right? Yeah. What do we tell you? Goes to overtime, it's over. It's literally overtime.
It's time to be over.
Yeah. But
we got a title.
Yeah, it's time.
There it is.
We can't talk about tonight's. We will talk about tonight's game because it's exciting, but we can't talk about tonight's game without telling you a little bit about the Islanders Leafs. Talking a little bit about that situation. I know a lot of people would like to forget it, but I think there were some really good points that, Steve, you made in the LFR, and I want to start with
always do
the Leafs beating themselves. The Leafs beating themselves, and you quoted one of the best shows on TV from Apple TV.
I forget.
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
Oh.
Yeah, and they have the yips.
They have the yips.
Case of the yips.
Sorry, there's too many services.
Right. Fair enough.
I was like, Yellowstone's not on that one.
Are you still watching Yellowstone?
Yeah.
Man, what is with that show?
Because I need pensive mountain stairs and tense boardroom moments.
There you go. Okay. So,
and for all of the powerful women to talk in strangely aggressive and vaguely sexual ways.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, the show is really starting to jump the shark.
It is. Oh, it jumped the shark after the 4th season. I was like, okay, this is done now.
Yeah.
Where they go and they just attack some people in the hills and then nothing happens. The local militia would just kill them all.
There's quite a bit.
Quite a bit of weird.
There's quite a lot going on. What were we talking about?
The yips and how the Leafs beat themselves. Tell me about it.
They got the yips, man. I think it explains the disconnect in the fan base. It explains the disconnect in how you view the team versus actually watching them when they play. It explains why Game 7 is consistently their worst game of most series. It wasn't this time. It was only like second or third worst. And it explains why they're losing in 3-on-3 overtime right now. Because we caught Austin Matthews in a lie, ladies and gentlemen. Caught him in a bit of a lie. He talked after the game about how it's not a concern. Mm-hmm. And Mark Giordano, who is not programmed yet, you see.
Yeah, he's not a Leaf bot.
He's not a Leaf bot. He basically said something along the lines of, we're in a bit of a rut when it comes to overtime. And he wasn't talking about bad luck. Dude, they clearly have a mental block. You can't. Worse than the goal going in was William Nylander's entire first shift. And just I saw some people criticizing him for losing his composure when he broke his stick. I was happy to see it. I was glad he was as mad as I was.
He iced it twice on 2 bad passes in the same shift in overtime.
Yeah, and this is what happens when the Leafs lack confidence, is they lose the ability to do anything. Remember at the beginning of the season when they couldn't make a pass? Mm-hmm. It was like the first 7 games of the season, they could not complete a pass. It was the weirdest thing ever. But you're asking me to make positive videos about how they're going to go far and right the ship. What? They're not making passes, man. And they've gotten it back. And consistently over the last few games, including this one against the Islanders, I'm watching them and I'm like, the Leafs are back, baby. Look at them. Look at the way they're moving out
7-0 in the first part of the
and then
shots.
0-7.
Yeah.
Then a goal.
This is why you got to watch the Leafs in 10-minute segments. Incredible shit. Like they don't just sort of coast. Like they I think they struggle in the playoffs because they don't know how to trade barbs. Like the Leafs never get jabbed. It's just uppercuts. It's just uppercuts straight to the jaw. I don't understand it. But am I making too big of a deal out of 3-on-3 overtime when the game can be summed up as they played incredibly in front of their third stringer who let them down? I think the fan base has been way too hard on Eric Källgren. He blew the game.
Tell me how.
He fucking left his net when he shouldn't have. He
made an awful goalie pass.
Yeah, like, listen, I
To
get
tie
shit,
the game up.
I get shit from goalies sometimes. Like, no, listen, sometimes you got to leave the net. I know. There are times where it makes sense for the goaltender to leave the net. That one wasn't one of them. Jordy Ben was going to be the first one there. He was going to be the first one there by a wide margin, and he was going to have options. He could ring it up the boards. Oh, well, there's another Islander in there. Well, he can ring it along the other side because there are no Islanders there. There's only 2 Islanders on the ice because they had a line change. Calle Järnkrok is there. There are other guys who are there. Järnkrok was there for the Källgren pass if he chose to do so, if you want to do a behind-the-back no-look pass. Or here's an idea. There's 3 minutes left in the game. Stay in your fucking net. Stay in your fucking net. Stay in your fucking net. I have a wild idea. Stay in your fucking net. It happens like twice a night. I don't get it. Like, Steve's Dangets is ruined. Inflation is killing Steve's Dangets. Like, we've printed too much Dangets, and now the Danget is worthless. Like, that's what it feels like. That's what every goalie does it all the time. And it's a copycat sport. We see an incredible player come in, and a few years later, everyone can do a version of what that incredible player
But
does.
oftentimes it's not as good. It's a bit of a cheap knockoff, right?
Yeah. And then goalies go through those through stages like that as well. And, you know, there's a reason they call him cookie cutter and they all play the same way. Someone out there is telling these goalies this is a good idea. And I want to know who, and I want them arrested for their crimes. What are you doing? You've made Andrei Vasilevsky and Igor Shesterkin and some of the best goalies in the league into idiots. Connor Hellebuck did it the other night. What? Which, if you're a goaltender, 10 the goal. It's the most brilliant thing I've ever fucking said. Ever. It's in the name! Do your job! Stay in the net. That's all I'm asking. I'm begging you.
For the Leafs, you're not exaggerating the 3-on-3 overtime thing. What you're doing is you're extrapolating what's been happening in 3-on-3 overtime and proving the point that the Leafs can't get it done when the pressure's on. Yep. Because in most of these instances, throughout their 1-5 record through 3-on-3 overtime, the way they've gotten there is by blowing it. It's. I don't think we have much evidence of them coming back in these 6 games and then forcing OT and then losing. It's been mostly, hey, we're kind of down or it's a really close game and now we just got to finish it off in OT, and they've been failing in that way. And you're taking that and you're pointing that to their whenever it's game 5 versus Columbus, it's game 7 versus Tampa, and they consistently can't get it done. It's because they have this mentality where they just don't have it. They don't have that killer instinct to when the pressure's on and they can actually take care of business.
They're anti-clutch.
Yeah.
They're anti-clutch. And they did get it done once in historic fashion. Game 4 against the Blue Jackets, and they followed up by getting shut out. I think it was 3-0 in an elimination game.
Mm-hmm. And I was trying to make this point at the beginning of the year when I was telling you guys the team doesn't really have it, because I think that mental aspect is a large part of professional sports, and playing in hockey, especially when the stakes are so high in the playoffs. You know, like that's a part of the game, and I don't think this team they've proven time and time again that they don't have that instinct to just finish the job
yet.
But on paper,
Tavares has a bounce back year. Not even on paper, like in practice. Matthews is struggling and finding a way. Bunting struggled and he's found a way. Mitch Marner is having the quietest, I think, 13-game point streak of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we haven't even talked about that.
They've survived injuries on the back end. They have another one, and they're going to survive that too. Both their goalies were out. They survived it.
They're winning tonight.
You think?
Every single time.
They snapped the streak?
Every single time. Oh my God. The Leafs are down their top 3 defensemen versus a team on a crazy winning streak. This is a game they win.
You know what?
This is 100% a game they win.
The last time Jesse guaranteed a win, it was against Philly, and I think it was also a Wednesday. They're going to win.
Yep.
Fuck your jersey, Adam.
Wow. Do you know what happened the last time Morgan Riley went down?
Kyle Dubas posted a really weird and cryptic YouTube video about
The
a
Chinese farmer, right?
Yes, yeah, maybe.
The last time the Maple Leafs Morgan Riley went down, it was last year in February, I believe. It was February or January when Kyle Dubas pointed that. Anyways, they were down their top defenseman as well as another defenseman. And they went out and they beat the New Jersey Devils in their next game.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Oh, how things seem to line up in the world.
What are we expecting the Leafs to do with their defense? Because a lot of people were like, and I felt like initially, okay, there's got to be a trade. But here's why. I know everybody's talking about Connor Timmins from Arizona.
Absolutely hilarious. Sioux connection. Sandine's D partner.
But here's the thing.
From the Sioux.
Awful.
Ottawa can't make a trade for a defenseman. This is from Elliot Friedman in 32 Thoughts, which were half 32 Thoughts this week. I'm not really sure what's going on.
We talked about it when you were away.
Oh.
He stopped doing 32 Thoughts, and now he just does articles when he has information.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
there was 13 Thoughts.
Yeah.
And he said, it's not for a lack of effort that the Senators haven't added a defenseman. Name someone who might be available, and they've considered it. It's one of the old lines. If you're drowning, other GMs throw anvils, not life preservers. So I do think they've considered some kind of sweetener, but it would be necessary to move Nikita Zaitsev, but there is a limit. And then Chychrun played 23 minutes in his return on Monday versus Nashville. Obviously, the most important thing Elliott says is he remains healthy. Arizona is still asking for 2 first-rounders, either upcoming picks or recently drafted prospects, plus something else. And I guess Connor Timmins is also a Coyote, and his conditioning stint ends today. Injuries are his biggest problem, but he's got lots of talent. Obviously, it does make sense for the Maple Leafs, but if the Sens can't get it done and there's nobody else out there, and the Sens have needed, like the Leafs don't really, like the Leafs, you can float this, you can try to get through this. The Senators need a defenseman. If they couldn't get it done with all the draft capital and all the prospects they have, I don't know if Toronto's going to be making a trade here.
I actually, I agree with you, and I think it'd be the wrong decision. You have Mac Hollowell up and in the lineup tonight for a reason. I told you he was the buoy. I can tell you can't go past Mac Hollowell. Listen, he's a wonderful story. It's wild he's playing in the NHL. I want him to succeed. I love a good story. And I love it even better when it's a Leaf. I love it. I hope Mac Hollowell kills it. I hope that quote where I said he can't play in the NHL ends up being stupid. I do. I genuinely do. Believe it or not, all the negative things they say about the Leafs, I hope get dunked on and are wrong.
Yeah, you hope they win. You're
Yes.
a fan of the team. It's so ridiculous when
I
people...
wore a Habs jersey
Oh
once,
my
you see.
God. I hate that shit. When people think you're cheering against them. No, you're critiquing them and you're being honest in your criticism of the team or your praise of the team. But in the end, you are a fan and are rooting for their success.
Every time I see those tweets, I'm like, oh my God.
It's
you go to work and have coworkers. Someone has to work with you.
I wouldn't focus too much on it.
I am going to.
Because I don't think you base your entire career on a team and you're not a fan. Like that doesn't make sense. So we'll
can I clean up my Devils thing?
Sure.
So last time Morgan Riley went down was January 2020. He broke his foot.
I thought so. Okay.
It wasn't that last season. The season before, broke his foot. Muzzin was also out at the time,
and Dermott was playing 25 minutes a night.
So they go first night missing Muzzin and Riley. Their D pairings were Dermott Hall, first line.
Dermatologist.
Sandine Cece, second pairing. Marinson Barry, third pairing.
Whoa.
That's from Jonas Siegel.
What a dark time.
They went out and they beat the Devils.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So it's better.
Well, the Devils were...
Yo, legit.
the Devils were trash.
Yeah.
So we got, who is it? Giordano Hall, Sandine Liljegren. I agree with those pairings. And I think it's Hollowell with Jordy Ben on the left now.
Marinson Barry. I'd probably take that.
Woo! You talk about two extremes. Whoa! Yeah, no, glad that's over.
Yeah, no kidding. I think that they're going to be okay through this.
Yeah.
I think these injuries happen. Morgan Riley's going to be out a month. If you look at it in the positive way, they're going to have more money to spend at the trade deadline because this month of Morgan Riley being on LTIR is worth I think $1 million at the end of the season.
Brody's only like a week away. Brody's coming back in like a weekish.
People got scared because they said he wasn't progressing as well as they had hoped. But like, again, we're talking about an oblique strain, right? So
that is an inflammatory headline, though. Sheldon Keefe is good for a quote. He is. He's best Leaf coach I've seen thus far for a quote, although Babs was pretty good.
Keefe video quotes are very different from Keefe written quotes.
Yes.
Because he doesn't get riled up.
Doesn't emote.
He's a little twitchy. He's got some vibration to him. So that's how you can tell he's annoyed. There's a certain way he carries himself, but in print, that reads like a disaster. He's going to be out another month.
But you watch the video and you're like, oh, it's a lot calmer.
Yeah, they'll survive this.
Yeah, they will.
Okay. And like they could even get another injury on the back end, and it's like then it kind of depends who it is.
Right.
I don't think they can survive a Giordano injury, and I don't think they can survive a Liljegren injury. Everything else, I think they try to figure it out.
Can I get your guys' official ranking of Keefe, Maurice, and Carlisle in official quotes that come off aggressive? Who had the best quotes out of those three? Three coaches.
Maurice was dark.
Yeah, Keefe's third. Keefe's easily the most boring of the three.
And Randy was passive aggressive. Randy was very passive. Remember the Reimer quote? Like, I thought he was just okay.
Yeah, I was never entertained by him, but they were inflammatory, so he'll go number 2. Paul Maurice, we didn't know what we had.
Oh, man. Great quotes. Great
quotes. And I've never seen... Paul Maurice is the closest I've ever seen a human being come to exploding.
But he always was like that. It was never like Paul, like, is there ever a time where do you ever see the sunlight?
Do you remember? Yes, he did get very Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes.
But if I had a tandem of Tosca and Raycroft, so would I.
It was dark, though.
Do you remember? I think it was definitely a penalty kill. It might have been a 2-man advantage for Carolina in overtime. And Paul Maurice was the coach.
I don't remember.
Well, the penalty was bullshit. And Antropov, I think, ended up getting suspended 3 games because I think he may or may not have thrown the stick after the game and it hit a ref.
Nice.
But Paul Hendrick, who is Mr. Rogers times Santa Claus, was in the scrum and basically asked Paul Maurice about the penalty, and it's the longest 5 count I've ever heard. It's blah, 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 question. There's a good story here.
It's the fact that you can remember that kind of stuff, man. There's no way.
It's the closest, like, we're talking Bugs Bunny. He's turning different colors. There's steam coming out of his ears. The video is available.
How much money do I want to get fined?
Oh,
right?
he's
50,000, 40,000, 30,000, 20,000.
I want a new boat. I want a new boat. That's like,
yeah,
you see
absolutely.
I badly want a new boat, and I miss him.
Yeah, for that reason, for sure.
I miss that, Paul.
Right.
Yeah, Jesse's trying to find it. No. Yeah, that's it. You found it.
Can you run it?
And we're allowed to use it, right?
Yeah, because it's a press conference.
It's on. I'm just gonna play the audio. It's
press
on YouTube,
conference.
so I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna play the audio for everybody listening.
Good idea, but listen to the 5 count.
All right, here we go.
Paul, can you measure your frustration with calls, non-calls, and how they went either way here tonight? There's a good story here.
5!
How did you remember that?
Blake's puck was in the net. Gleason fell in the crease, and it was a lousy call on Antropov. But that's my judgment. That's the way I feel. It's the way the hockey players feel. It's what the camera looked like to me. So let's just do it this way. I've been out here and friendly long enough. When I get the story, go ask the people that made the judgments. It's not mine. We disagree. That's all I have to say for you.
He just walked up to the mic. So that's the first question
That
he
was
got.
the first question.
And he says in his answer, I've been out here in front of you long enough.
Being friendly.
When you just got there. And then he leaves. So he answers that question, then he leaves. That's a 45-second press conference.
Did he mention Jason Blake there too? Is that what he
He
said?
did. There might have been a disallowed goal. I don't remember every aspect of the game.
The fact
but
that you remembered this.
it's, you know why I think I remember it is it was my I think that was my first season doing LFR. Almost
no.
positive. Yeah, my first season doing LFR, Paul Maurice was head coach and Sundin was still in the team.
Right.
To give you an idea of
So
how long ago that was.
I'm looking up Jason Blake's stats. I want to look this up because
Okay.
I thought this was fascinating. We never looked at anything beyond goals, assists, points, and plus minus back in those
He was
days.
an underrated leaf.
And he signed in Toronto at I think it was like a 5-year, $20 million deal. Very expensive for the time based on the salary cap.
It was a ridiculous chunk of the salary cap at the time.
But he had come off a 40-goal season in the island, or on the island, where, he had the previous 3 years, he'd done 25, 22, and 28 goals, and then he scored 40 goals. Now, the Leafs got him after coming off a 13 shooting percent season. Before that, it had been 9, 9, and 9. His first season in Toronto, this is the very Leafs thing, he falls to a 452
Now wait.
percentage.
There's everyone forgets this about Jason Blake. His first season with the Leafs, like before he even suited up for his first game as a Leaf, he was going through cancer treatment.
Right. And listen,
Everyone forgets
I
that.
still think the fact that he had 15 goals and 52 points in his first year, played every game
On that team.
on that shitty team, shooting a 4.5%. So then the next year, the shooting percentage rebounds. It goes to 828, which is about in line with his career average, 25 goals.
Yep.
And then he got older.
But the team around him, like,
Trash.
No one cares about a 25 goal season when the rest of the team stinks.
Well, if you look at Phil Kessel's stats in Toronto, 30 goal, 30 goal, 30 goal, 30 goal, 30 goal. Everybody hates him for some reason. Back then.
His contract was like a monument to the team's mediocrity, so people never really gave him a shot. Like, no, he was an underrated Leaf.
Mhm.
But that Paul Maurice quote
It's so good.
is good shit. How did we get here?
We know the Leafs can beat the Devils because they almost did. And then overtime. We saw the way the Devils skate. Right, Jesse? You mentioned it last time. They are just fast.
Yeah.
What do the Leafs
Too
need?
quick.
What do they need to do with diminished defense tonight to beat the New Jersey Devils? What's got to happen?
Well, I do think it's a little weird that one of their fastest guys in Dennis Malkin is getting sat tonight. But
That is interesting.
can't complain. You're not allowed to complain. Nick Robertson is in the lineup.
Yeah, you asked for this.
You
can't
asked for
complain.
this. You are not allowed to complain.
Yeah, you don't go to IHOP and order pancakes and then complain about the pancakes. You asked for the pancakes.
That's right.
Yeah, they got to take care of the puck. They got to help out the D. They got to make it so that not every pass is 40, 50 feet.
Mhm.
They got to come back, help them with assignments, cover the 6 guys who they're going with. Basically, all of them, maybe outside of Jordy Ben, have the green light to pinch and go deep, and have offensive abilities. If I'm Jordy Ben, I know I got to stay back all night, because if Mac Hollowell is going to be in the lineup, you want to use him to the best of his abilities.
Mhm.
This is a point producer, right? I wouldn't even mind to see him get that's too far. I was going to say second unit power play. No, we're not doing that. But just make their jobs easier. Short passes. Don't get fucking picked off.
Right.
Always have at least a guy back.
Okay.
Always have at least a guy back. When the Leafs are playing their best, their D jump up in the rush, and there's always a forward hanging back. Their wingers do a really good job. Ilya Mikheyev was really good at that. Mitch Marner is really good at that. So that's what they got to do.
What did you guys make of Wayne being on waivers yesterday?
Well, I think he'd been on waivers before, and then his expiry for being able to be sent down without waivers had expired. It's like,
Oh, okay.
'cause you have it's in like a 30-day window or something.
Yeah,
So you need to redo it.
It could, in theory, indicate a trade is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Because they still don't have the flexibility to, if they wanted to do a 2-for-1 deal or
Can't do
something,
it.
they can't do it. So they still really don't have the flexibility. And let's be honest, this guy's not going to play. He's not going to play. He played in a really unique situation. Winnipeg, and how many games has he played this season? 2, 3?
Played one more on. He played LA in that trip. Remember?
They obviously think he's going to end up somewhere, and it makes him way more appetizing for teams. If he can be called up and sent down, right? We've seen this before. I hope he plays in the show. Listen, there's some shitty teams out there, man.
Yeah. They could use Wayne.
He can play in the show. You know where it'd be kind of neat to see him end up? Like a team that could...
Philly. Stay Philly.
I would love to see him end up in Philly.
Yeah.
I was going to say a place where it'd be great for him to end up just to kick the team in the ass a little bit. Vancouver.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I think that'd be very ironic after the whole Edler thing.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Adam's called Philly's pretty decent.
Philly'd be cool.
Yeah.
And Torts would love that guy.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. You're Philly. You're not worried about making the playoffs. You're worried about getting the message across.
Right. And that's the thing. Okay, so the Leafs have to beat the Devils.
Yeah?
Matt Murray's got to play really well.
We don't believe you.
No, well, they don't.
We don't believe
They're not
you.
going to, but they have to.
No.
But they're not going to.
No.
Otherwise, that game in Minnesota is going to take on a whole lot more weight. And I'm questioning, okay, so the Leafs played Eric Källgren, probably in a game what they prefer he didn't play in against the Islanders because they're very good.
Every game he plays is a game they prefer he's not playing.
Right, yes,
Third,
agreed.
you know?
But you have to play Matt Murray against the Devils. But then you got the Wild who got off to a bit of a shaky start. And then who they have Saturday? Pittsburgh again?
I think you're right. I think it is Pittsburgh. Jesse will look it up.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
So you have to, you think anyway, Källgren's going to have to get one of those games, right?
Did he beat Pittsburgh? I can't. No, Murray did.
I have no idea.
I don't know. It honestly, is it a cop out to say I don't think it matters? Just
Matters a little. Matt Murray's pretty good.
yeah.
And he already got his game versus Pittsburgh, like Matt Murray, so it's not like revenge game again. You know, we already did this once, so we don't need to send him out again.
To Matt.
You probably give
to
him
Murius.
give him Wednesday, Friday, and you know what Saturday could be? It's Samsono's return potentially.
Oh, that'd be good.
By then,
Love
like
that.
it sounds like he's close.
So then you want to run out Matt Murray on Thursday or Friday, so then you don't have to do Källgren at all.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
Murray, Samsonov, and then the Leafs can have the tandem that they meant to for just the second time this season. Literally just the second time this season.
After the first game.
It's almost the end of the month
in November.
No.
It's truly wild. Sorry, one more thing that they got to do. The Devils are going to get. They're going to be very fast. They're going to crash the net. They're going to get a lot of shots. The Leafs have to do their best to limit their secondary chances because one thing I've noticed this year, A, they're getting better goaltending. B, the rebound control sucks.
Right. Okay.
So there's going to be a lot of secondary chances if the D don't clear the.
Well, and you know the thing is there's a lot of young, inexperienced D there, so you can expect that there's going to be mistakes.
Just swat the thing. I don't care where it ends up. Just not in the back of your.
Was
net.
Philip Kral an option that they can ever use again?
Oof.
I think so. He had a tough. Who did he? He was in a particularly bad game. Was it the Ducks one?
Probably. It was around that era.
Now
That era of the season so far.
Yeah, he didn't look NHL ready. It was by circumstance that he had to be in the lineup. You know, it was unfortunate.
yeah. But Hollowell's there now. Mete is there.
He's their extra skater. Going to be tonight. So
They'll be fine.
yeah.
They'll be fine. I'm not worried about them.
Is Mete that bad that they don't want to play him?
No, I think they just want to get Hollowell a look.
It's Gio
Okay.
Hall, Sandy and Lilligren, Ben Hollowell. So,
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
This actually, how about this? If I'm not mistaken, this is going to be the first time all year the Leafs have 3 right-handed shots on D.
Yeah, because
I think.
he
Wow.
will play the other side
Yeah.
up top. Yeah, in the first line.
So that'll be neat. That'll be fun.
Wow.
He's very tiny though.
The Nylander, Matthews, Tavares, Marner switch up has been decent. Like
Mhm.
Tavares has been running all season. I don't think it slowed him down having Marner now. And then Matthews has been Matthews. Like Matthews has been good last couple of weeks. So I guess the little switch up has worked.
Watching those lines at 5-on-5 and then seeing how they click also on the power play really drives home how stupid this debate has been. Dude, like...
Which debate?
What? Just
Yeah, you have to tell us which debate you mean.
Separating Matthews and Marner.
Oh, that you should never do it.
You should never...
Never.
Why?
Who's saying that? Who's saying you should
Some
do it?
people...
No. But it's you should never do it versus this is the answer.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's you have 4 elite forwards there. And when one or both of them get stale, whoop, switch it. And then all of a sudden teams don't know what to do and they start to score. And Matthews, Nylander, and Tavares Marner will get stale. And guess what? Whoop! You switch them right back and they'll be great. I'm excited for Marner on a line with Robertson, which I can't believe hasn't been tried yet. He needs you saw what he did with a pure playmaker in the OHL.
His first game. What was he not on the second line?
But it was
first
Nylander,
one?
I'm almost positive.
Oh, right.
I think,
right.
and Nylander's a great passer, and obviously Tavares is too, but Robertson with Tavares and Marner, yeah, I want to see that.
Also, your fourth line is your third line. Stop pretending.
It's the weirdest thing.
Kerfoot's on the fourth line. I'm sorry. It's the Kerfoot, Holmberg, Yonkirk line is the fourth line.
That is the fourth line.
Yeah.
That is just your spare parts. That's leftovers from Thanksgiving dinner.
There are guys who get picked on this roster. Hall, sometimes it's overdone. Sometimes it's perfectly justified. Shelgren, sometimes it's overdone. Last game it was perfectly justified. Sandin, perfectly justified for a while. He's bounced back. When are we going to talk about Kerfoot having 6 points in 20 games, making $3.5 million?
You
we
don't
have
like Kerfoot.
mentioned it.
Can't score a goal. No,
Not one goal at 5-on-5. Not one.
No, but like we've been Robertson. No. I'm starting to think the conversation should be Robertson and also boot this guy.
Well, I wonder if they're trying to trade him and taking him out of the lineup hurts his trade value. So they're like, shit, I hope he gets it going.
Putting him in the top 6 and watching him play like dog shit hurts his trade value.
Yeah, but you can't scratch a guy and then expect to get value for him. Adam's right on that. Like, you
Man.
need to just play him until he plays well, and then you can move him.
At that point, you have to you're throwing in a sweetener to get rid of a contract like that in a flat cap NHL where, maybe next year this is less of a problem because the cap's supposed to go up by like $3 million this summer.
Or maybe the third line is perfect. Holmberg is a player, really like him.
Mm-hmm.
And Yarncroke, I think, has sort of found his way. Maybe those three click together and Kerfoot finds a spot and watch. Then
I think this is,
first goal.
guys, I think this might be Kerfoot's last sort of audition at a spot, though. He has been on every other line, and I think this is it. And I think they're saying if it doesn't work here with these two, then the common denominator is Alex Kerfoot, and we will have to do something about that. Now, that could trigger like a 4-month process before the trade deadline, before they're able to do something about it, because it wouldn't shock me that they can't, but at a certain point, you have to make a decision as an organization. Well, he is this player a good player? Yes. Does he have great skill? Yes. Is there stuff untapped that's tantalizing? You go, oh my God, please just make this happen. Yes. But we tried you on the first, we tried you on the second, we tried you on the third. Now we're going to try you on the fourth. And if that still doesn't work, then we have to make a decision.
He's played every single forward position in this entire lineup.
I messaged some of my stats nerd friends. I'm like, tell me I'm missing something. Tell me. Robertson has 5 points in 10 games. He has 1 point less than Kerfoot in half the games. He's got more points than Malgin, who's only got 4. And I think he might have more than Engvall, who's only got 4. Robertson should be in this fucking lineup, man.
Yeah, but the nature of the salary cap and the way you have to negotiate with other GMs is you can't scratch Kerfoot and admit that, hey, this is an unplayable player, and then expect to get anything back for him. So you need to just keep playing him until it works out, and then you can trade him.
Would have been the perfect player on the 15-16 Leafs.
Why?
He can play every position, look good, probably put up positive Corsi,
Trade him for a couple second rounders.
and never fucking score.
Yeah.
He was, all right, every night we want to be competitive and lose. Do I have a guy for you? Here he is.
And it's not
I'm
just
just
that he's
about
not
done with this.
I want to get more specific with Alex Kerfoot because this isn't like we're jumping on his back session. People have been on this guy since he came. And there have been times where he's been a real bright light. Been times where he's filled in for Tavares being injured in a pinch. which
Yep.
has been helpful.
What a wasted and forgotten performance against Montreal.
Oh yeah, he was amazing. I want to acknowledge that this player is capable and has shown it.
Yep.
I also want to know, beyond scoring, there's more to this player that they're not bringing. Because just looking at, he hasn't scored a 5-on-5 goal, which is what I said, that's part of the story. But the actual story is when he's out there, what's he doing or not doing? So what are you seeing?
You know who's been a more effective player for their team?
Who?
His college teammate, Jimmy Vesey, with the Rangers. That guy's like a bad penny. They can't get rid of him. Stole that from Red Dead. Arthur Morgan quote. No, but like literally the Rangers can't get rid of him, and he's actually, but they found a role for him. They found a niche for him. The Leafs weren't able to do that. And I don't know if the Leafs can find a niche for this guy. You can't tell me there's no one out there that's a better fit. Like, does a guy like Pontus Holmberg make him a little bit more expendable?
Mm-hmm.
Now that you have a
if
center,
Robertson's going to play, then maybe.
If Robertson's going to play, and this is a big game for him, biggest game of the season for him since the last one. You know what I mean? And you're comfortable with Holmberg? I don't know. They're obviously in some sort of, they're always in a cap situation. If you can replace him, you should.
They're also in a bit of a loyalty situation, and they always are. I think it's fair to say that they didn't need to sign Wayne Simmons to a 2-year contract last summer. And I think it's fair to say that they didn't need to sign Justin Hall to a 3-year contract a year before that. I think it's fair to say that Pierre Engvall's contract, that 2-year extension that he got, wasn't good until the end of last season when he found it. And then he he got another extension this year, and he's lost it. I mean, how many times do we need to watch Pierre Engvall go into the corners with somebody or against the boards with somebody and not use his size at all?
He's one of the most infuriating players I've ever watched.
Absolutely. And you know why he's infuriating?
Every game he shows you a flash that he is literally the most talented athlete on either roster.
Yes. Because he's capable of more. You don't hate him for the sake of hating him. It's like, Pierre, just finish the play.
He has 26 abs.
Yeah, he's in crazy shape.
He's the tallest Leaf. He might be the heaviest Leaf. He's maybe the fastest Leaf.
Won't throw a hit.
I don't know who else to compare him to. I really don't. Chad Kilger?
Maybe. Todd Warner?
I don't know. Well, it's just like Chad Kilger. I remember one like fastest skater, hardest shot, and we were all like, "What?"
Well, yeah, and he was like a top 5 draft pick. He was picked based on those skills.
3rd or 4th overall.
Yeah.
96, 7.
Yeah, that's a guy that just never totally panned out.
Had
all the skill.
The pick after Aki Berg.
Yeah, and it's not to. I don't want to dump on players here, but it's sort of like specifically, if you're sitting there wondering, why do fans keep going after these guys? Well, it's because they're capable of more. They're better than this. You're better than this. Kerfoot's better than this. Engvall's better than this. I do think the Leafs hem themselves into a corner. You have Wayne Simmons on a contract that's a year too long. What would it have cost you to just get him on a 1 year?
Here's
another $250,000.
Here's what I hate. Here we are microanalyzing, picking the team apart. And this is what one shitty moment does to your stupid hockey team.
Mm-hmm.
The Islanders are a wagon this year.
They are.
They're back. They're great. They're a team that you anticipate. I think they're pretty good. You anticipate seeing them in the playoffs. That game, I thought they picked the Islanders apart. They beat them. They were the better defensive team. They were the better offensive team. They put their third stringer out against a Vezina candidate and outplayed them.
Mm-hmm.
He blows it in the final 3 minutes. What that should have been is a 2-1 Leafs win that you build on and go, here we are, knocking off another top 10 team, and up next, we're going to end the Devil streak. And now we're talking about Wayne Simmons.
It's so true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that's I'm not like
why are we at? But I keep saying, like, why are we at a 50 contract limit? We can't make a 2-for-1 trade.
But we're not even sitting here for the first 40 minutes of the show talking about this game if Shalgren stays in his net.
Yep.
We're talking about fucking something else.
Yeah,
One
you're right.
moment,
It's conversation
you
for
know?
another day.
It's-
Like the Leafs should have
You're
been
right.
able to ride this week. Like they were setting themselves up to ride this week
6-1-2 or something.
until Valentine's Day. Like and now they're
It's ruined.
down Riley, and we're talking about Kerfoot and Robertson and Mulligan and all this bullshit.
Yeah, we'll do like 30 minutes on defenseman trades, instead of like the team can't win. It'd be a
they
can.
longer conversation if one mistake isn't made, but it seems like consistently over and over and over again, they make that one mistake and they blow it.
Here, let me put a positive spin on it. So Hollowell's making his NHL debut tonight. Right now, like next week, we might discover we have a different answer. But right now, should the Leafs go out and get a defenseman? Right
No, not right now.
Adam,
I wouldn't say so.
I also don't think they should go out and get one. They're down Muzzin, Brody, and Riley. And we all agree that they have enough depth to weather this storm. That's a huge compliment to what the Leafs have accomplished. However, we have our complaints, man.
Yep. I think it's fair. It's never too early to play holiday music, and it's never too early to start thinking about gifts, whether it's for a friend or the friend in your pants.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
All-time
boo.
low. 1,000% at all-time low.
You can make it happen this season and be jolly with Manscaped, baby. Now, do your little drummer boy a favor and use that lawnmower
Absolutely not.
4.0 to avoid another silent night in the bedroom.
Oh,
And look at
Silent
this.
Night.
I have a brochure in my hands about some of the other products you can get. The Crop Mop Stay Fresh Wipes, the Clean Start Crop Cleanser, the Head to Toe Foot Duster, the Finishing Touch Refined Cologne, and the Plow 2.0, which is a superior safety razor with machine brass handle for better grip and zinc alloy head.
Ooh.
Provides you with gentle shave for
Head.
extra smoothness.
Jingle Balls was right there. You didn't have to do
I'll
that.
get to
Yeah.
that. We got a long way to go for the holidays, but you don't, not at least to get your shopping in. So why don't you do this? Go to manscaped.com/dangle. Use that promo code. It's Dangle, by the way, DANGLE. Free shipping, 20% off. Hey guys, it's time to knock that new business idea out of the park with Shopify. Listen, I know it's the holiday season, but then you're going to start thinking New Year's resolutions, right? If you look back at this year and these last couple of years and go, I need a change, this might be the way to do it. Forget the off-season work. Shopify makes it simple to sell to anyone from anywhere, whether you're selling warm-ups or wall hangers. It's time to start selling with Shopify worldwide and join the platform simplifying e-commerce for millions of businesses worldwide. With Shopify, you'll customize your online store to your brand to discover new customers and build the relationships you need with diehard fans, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
You're
pretty
That
cool.
was awful.
Why is that awful?
How did you not mention that sdpnshop.ca is built on Shopify?
Is it?
I built it on Shopify. It's on.
I didn't even
the
know
back
that.
end that we use.
There you go.
That should be what you lead with, Adam.
I know.
Come
Well, listen,
on.
and thanks to the
we love Shopify.
Thanks to the 24/7 support and free on-demand business courses, Shopify is on your team every step of the way. So if you want to sign up for a free trial, go to shopify.com/STP, all lowercase. Again, it's shopify.com/STP to start selling today. Shopify.com/STP.
So easy to use, even a moron like Jesse could use it.
This guy.
What an idiot.
Let's move on. Let's talk about the Ottawa ownership situation. A little bit of a revelation in 13 thoughts.
Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds has had at least 2 meetings with potential Senators ownership groups this week. Elliott says he's curious to see if he ends up selecting one of them or if the NHL, recognizing the positive public reaction, tries to place him with the eventual purchaser, which would be a very Gary Bettman move. Like, hey, we like this group, so you're going to go there now.
Yeah.
The process is going to ramp up next week, and the hope is the front runner will be identified by mid-January. One source on Sal Gladiotto, who was hired by the Senators to facilitate the sale, he knows how to create an auction. Also, there was some wondering about The Weeknd, as in the singer, his involvement.
Love that.
He partners with, I guess there's some ties with a potential buyer. And The Weeknd's reps lived in Ottawa after their families emigrated to Canada. So there are some ties there. I don't know how far that goes, but there are some potential where the Weeknd and Ryan Reynolds team up with some
always
billionaires to buy the Sens.
They always try and do the spin where they find the local connection so that the fans understand why this rich person is coming in on the team. But it's also just like a great investment, and maybe we can just be honest about your intentions and that pro sports are a fantastic investment. We've seen celebrities time and time again team up with the people who have the actual billionaire money. We've seen it with like Magic Johnson getting the Dodgers, and J-Lo and A-Rod getting in on the Marlins for a time there. And so we've seen the celebrity get into the sports buying teams world. And the Weeknd sees an opportunity because he's seeing other celebrities do it. And the Ottawa Senators, the only hockey franchise up for sale in the money bracket that he can team up and get into. So that's probably his intentions, but they love the media spin of we found a local connection as well.
I have found a local connection as well. So I'm going to throw the hat in the ring. There is a Sens fan out there who has collaborated with the Weeknd. Belly.
I don't think Belly's got the money. I don't think Belly's got the money for that.
No,
Or the brand
Canadian
name to get
successful Belly, probably not.
And here's Belly.
Not to denigrate Belly's career. He's written for some
Belly's great.
major artists. He's done amazing work.
Belly's got hits.
But
Man, Listen is a good song.
oh no, absolutely. I'm not ragging on Belly. I'm just saying there's like where Belly's at, and then there's where the Weeknd's at, and that's a very big difference.
Which one of them played the Super Bowl?
I think it was Belly.
Yeah.
Well, I think he has a couple million to add to the cause.
Sure.
'Cause a couple million make you stand different. I dropped the ball, and so they dropped the ball, and so I ran with it. No, here, I'll do the rest of the song. It'll be better. No. I want Belly to join the Weeknd and Ryan Reynolds, and also the It's Always Sunny guy.
I don't know. Listen,
This better happen for Reynolds, right? Like this is gonna be
well,
awesome.
I think the
if it
NHL
does.
knows it needs to.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they're like, we'll place him with the winning bidders because they want him associated with the sport.
Which is just
Yeah.
I hate the Gary Bettman stank on that. Like, hey, we're gonna put you with the other because
You must hate the NHL them. The
everything
entire thing is the Gary Bettman stank.
everything we know about the league is Gary's got his fingers on everything. Adam, you bring it up all the time about how people ask for his opinion on the broadcasters and who should be running what team and what hires people should do. Hey, do you think this guy would make a good GM? And just now that we're openly just like, okay, Gary Bettman gets to pick Ryan Reynolds as partners for this team. It's like, whatever.
You know,
Gary, get out of here.
people talk about the good things that have happened to the National Hockey League while he's been commissioner, and no one asks, could another guy have done even better?
And the answer is absolutely another guy could have done even better.
Unequivocally. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Well, he put himself there.
No. The Hall of Fame has a voting committee. It has nothing to do
And
with
they
the
all
NHL.
have- why do they have their positions?
They're
Why-
all farts.
Why do they have their positions? How did they get to be a part of the committee, guys?
You're throwing Gary Bettman in the Hall of Fame while he's still working? You fart sniffer. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Some of your friends are on that committee. Stop it.
I don't care.
Who's on the committee? That's
It's
friends with us.
It's
We went
open.
through it.
Yeah, we went through it
Oh,
a couple,
okay.
couple months
You
ago.
fart sniff.
Yeah.
No, whatever.
Listen,
It's
it's like when you're in a relationship and you're like, I don't want to leave this relationship. It could get worse or it could get better. And this is the thing. Like Gary, to me, what he's done isn't revolutionary. He didn't save small market sports the way he's portrayed. And so many people who even listen to this show believe.
Yeah.
Like if small markets couldn't support teams, then the NFL and the NBA would be down to 15 teams. But the reality is that they can, and there are business models to do it, and there are better business models that the NHL uses. And the reality is, if you want to just look at the success of the NHL and NBA, look at where they were at, which was about even in 1992, and look at where they are now.
Yeah. I mean, you should be in the Hall of Fame for getting the NHL on a channel where they are second fiddle to fishing.
OLN. Yeah.
Oh, my
they lost.
God.
They
That
lost
gets
a
you in
$100
the
million
Hall of Fame.
ESPN deal, and that $100 million for hockey rights back then is a lot of money.
Another guy would have kept teams where they are if they wanted to be and simply taken ESPN's money.
Yep. Did Gary signed the deal to take NBC's money, right?
It was
Oh, yeah.
That was-
versus.
Well, NBC.
Yeah, because it became NBCSN, right?
Yeah.
Is that?
And yes, he did sign that deal.
He signed that. That was the worst deal for the promotion of the sports, I think, in the last 50 years.
It's not as bad as the OLN deal was. So
Right.
it was considered at the time an improvement, but when you set the bar so low, remember coming out of that lockout, I don't know if you guys have ever read those guys have all the fun, the ESPN book.
No.
ESPN built ESPN on hockey. People forget that. Hockey was the marquee sport on ESPN throughout the 80s. Why do you think Wayne Gretzky was so famous? And I think people just forget, like Keith Olbermann, who I know you have a great relationship with.
Sure do.
Keith Olbermann, who was one of the
I don't know why I blocked him.
the
Still blocked.
biggest one of the biggest sports anchors of the 80s and 90s. That guy is an enormous hockey fan. Remember those ESPN ads with Ovechkin and Crosby and stuff? Remember those things? Those were phenomenal pieces. And what the NHL did was they said, we're going to hold a lockout. We're going to get our salary cap. At the end of it, ESPN said, okay, well, we can't offer you as much because we've just lost an entire year of hockey and it's not worth as much. And the NHL said, fine, we'll go to OLN. And they said at the time, they framed it as, oh no, we had to do this because the ESPN deal wasn't there, and the players were intransigent, and we couldn't get this going, and whatever. The ESPN deal was there after the lockout. It just wasn't the money that they had offered before. So Gary said, we'll take more money rather than we'll promote the sport and make more money.
You need to be on ESPN in America.
You do.
It's the only place to air your sports if you want to be a major professional sports.
And listen, no disrespect to Bally or to TNT or any of those, but ESPN does come first.
And baseball's different because it's a local thing.
Yes.
Like, that's kind of out of the conversation here. And football is too massive. It's on every single network, which is kind of, I think, the correct way to go if you're hockey as well. But like, they needed to have something on ESPN, and they completely took it away. And ESPN chose to ignore hockey. There was a time when you go on ESPN.com and the little tabs at the top where you click the sports, hockey was like, it's the little drop down menu after the main tabs. Like NCAA football would be there, NCAA basketball would be ahead of hockey, MMA would be ahead of hockey because they have MMA rights and stuff, and the UFC was booming. It was terrible for the game, and it truly died in a large part of America.
Yeah,
It feels like
it's coming back a little bit. It's coming back a little bit.
it almost feels like undoable damage because they
Well, you can't-
bring out Stephen A. Smith to do like a little segment about the NHL, and it's very obviously him just making it the fuck up.
Well, and he hasn't done one since.
Right.
First Take was supposed to talk about hockey. He just won't.
Because no one cares.
Yeah.
No one
There's
cares.
no audience for it.
We care. We're weird. You're weird. We're all weird.
But what I would say is that I do think hockey is making inroads despite itself.
Yeah.
I think the NHL is making inroads with a younger community despite itself. However, they've got some real challenges. It is time for fresh air at the top. We know that.
Ryan Reynolds would help.
Ryan Reynolds would help with that.
Commissioner.
It's smart.
Circle this conversation. This stuff helps.
The
This
Weeknd.
is-
The
Ryan
Weeknd
Reynolds
being a
going
Sens fan, though, would be
on
upsetting.
fucking late night television talking about the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah.
The Ottawa Senators.
Isn't
How
that
many
wild?
people live in Ottawa? $1 million yet?
No, it's $1 million.
million two, I think. $1 million
Like,
two.
he's on late night. That's huge for the game.
I am a big analytics nerd, and I want to know.
$994.
See, not even $1 million yet.
That's
That's 2017.
Ryan Reynolds will push that over.
you're a bullshitter, Google.
And Montreal says 1.78. So there you go.
I'm a big analytics nerd. I want to know how much of an increase in traffic the Wrexham documentary has gotten in Canada since that rumor started.
That's a good question.
What
I
is
started
that?
watching it. Haley Salvian started watching it.
What is that?
The Wrexham documentary is the documentary about the, I think, 5th tier English soccer team that Ryan Reynolds and the guy whose name I keep forgetting from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia bought. They bought a
James
football
Gandolfini.
team from Wales.
Mm-hmm.
James Gandolfini. He said, Christopher. Buying a soccer team, Christopher.
I've been watching so much Sopranos.
It's called football tea, but it's not really football, it's soccer. Anyway.
What about the old British
good
guy from
shit.
Downton Abbey? Do your Downton Abbey guy.
Prostitute?
In Downton?
In Downton?
So Ryan Reynolds made a doc about a tier 5 football team.
Yeah. No, he bought it with the It's Always Sunny guy,
bought
who I should like that show, and I just haven't gotten around to it. I like every clip I've ever seen. But anyway, they had never met before, and they were just like, let's buy a 5th-tier Welsh soccer team. And then they did, and they made a whole documentary about it. And I'm watching it. It's like Ted Lasso with stakes.
Because it's real.
Because it's real. It's real. And if you lose a game, all your Welsh fans go, fuck you. You made the team shitty. And it's awesome. I want to see the Sens one.
Yeah, the latest rumor is that if he ends up buying it, they're going to make one.
Yeah, obviously.
That makes perfect sense.
And that's probably part of the way you get a little bit of money for it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't tell me that documentary is not helping to fund Wrexham.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously it is.
And you look at what being on Netflix has done for F1, the fastest growing sport in the world right now.
Oh, what being relevant has done for it?
Survive.
Yeah.
Oh, what being visible and relevant has
Ryan
done?
Reynolds he's thinking outside the box here, and him coming into the league would be tremendous. And a show like this would be absolutely fantastic for the game of hockey and for the Ottawa Senators in particular.
I'm just trying to see if Canada's...
Welcome to Wrexham on FX.
Oh, and for a show that's on Disney Plus, boy, there's a lot of fucks.
Disney Plus has what is it, Star
It's
or whatever
Star,
they call it?
so it's technically on
That's
Star.
where they put Family Guy and stuff.
Yeah.
They also have National Geographic too. If you ever had an edible,
Oh yeah.
the National Geographic section of Disney Plus is sweet because you can only watch Planet Earth so many times. You need to watch some other stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's pretty great.
Adam and I have watched time lapses of mushrooms growing.
Yeah, sweet. Good
It's
times.
great.
Really good times. Highly recommend. Yeah, I mean, I hope this happens. I just can't see the weekend as a Sens fan. It would bother me.
No, that's
Scar.
why Belly talks him into it.
Oh, that's right.
You guys are really underplaying Belly's role in all this.
How many Americans listen to this show know who Belly is, do you think?
A lot.
Not enough.
You think so?
A
We're
lot.
both right.
Yeah. No.
A lot, not enough.
People gotta know Belly.
Do they?
Yeah.
Belly's an
All right.
icon.
He's used the very underutilized saxophone in many a hit.
Yes.
One of
he
which I can
absolutely has.
name.
Rob McElhaney.
Rob McElhaney. Thank you.
Jesse, I'm going to send you
Brother of Curtis.
Nope.
I'm going to send you a clip. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to send you a clip.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not even sure we can use it's actually footage during a hockey. Could we use footage of a hockey game,
No.
but from Europe?
No.
Probably not.
Probably not, damn it.
Just send it and we'll watch it.
No, I can't.
Is
I
it
can't
the
send it.
KHL guy who lost his mind and attacked the ref?
No, I did.
Is it the guy who jumped on the ice in the street?
No, it's the guy who slapped the puck into his own net. Have you not seen this?
No.
It's making the rounds on Twitter.
Can we watch it and you can just describe it?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Okay.
So I just want you to have a look at this.
Oh, this. Yes, I have seen
So
Send me it so I can do pauses.
okay.
Yeah,
All right.
send me the part
Just
of
don't show which account it's from if you know what I'm saying.
I don't.
So
Oh.
I'm gonna text it to you, Jesse.
Awesome.
So basically, what's happening here is there's two teams. I don't know. I don't recognize these jerseys. I don't know.
Green is Salavat Yulayev.
Okay, and then who's the red and white?
Oh, nuts. Vitas, maybe?
Okay. So the defenseman for Salavat is trying to clear the puck with his hand. Now, you have to remember, this is coming at him about eye level, and he wants to throw it into the corner. But he swats it with his left hand across the right side of his body, and the goalie is on the right side of his body, and comedy ensues.
Comedy ensues. I'm trying to find out who the player is. Nomenko?
31, I think.
33.
33. Oh, sorry.
I'm going to look it
33,
up.
yeah.
Because guaranteed,
You know something about him?
I know something about him, and there's a tie to the Leafs.
You think so?
No, I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
Is it Artyom Nomenko?
33.
Plays for Lokomotiv. That's not Lokomotiv. Oh, no, that's Salavat. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't find
Anyway,
it.
long story
right.
short, I just thought this goal was hilarious.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
Mikhail.
Can you freeze frame it, Jesse? Are you
Yeah,
freeze
no,
frame it?
I've
you
done
showed it?
it.
Okay,
I've
cool.
done
I
it
just want to make sure.
already,
Man, that's a rough.
He throws the puck into his own
Yeah, and
net.
you wonder, like, what were you thinking? Like, just let it hit you in the chest. Like, what were you going to do?
He's
with
trying to bat it to the corner.
Yeah.
Wrong corner, man.
Yeah, wrong corner.
Like, you're a pro hockey player. You wrong corner. Do this.
Mikhail Nomenkov, he has 3 goals, which is wrong. It should be listed as 4 because we clearly just saw him score 1. He plays with Shakir Mukhamadullin, who is a first-round pick of the New Jersey Devils. Ryan Murphy, a former first-round pick of the Carolina Hurricanes. And Nikolai Kulemin.
Interesting.
There you go. Well done.
There you go. God, who doesn't love hockey DB? And Ilya Zhov, the goalie I recognize from my KHL highlight days. Yes. Yes. Love a good KHL clip. Always good for a laugh. That's, you know who did that in the NHL?
Who?
Batted the puck into his own net with his glove? Mark Bergevin.
Oh, really?
When he was with the St. Louis Blues.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, well, except Mark's was worse. It was more of a throw. He didn't bat it. He like had possession of the puck and just went
So did he put his hands around it too?
basically and just
So it's a penalty.
right into
So it's
his
a
net.
penalty and it's a goal.
Yeah.
Although knowing the NHL, they'd be like, oh, they cancel each other out. It's no big deal.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we'll decide that during intermission, and John Tortorella loses his mind.
Okay. All right. You know what? Let's do the press conference. Think you know what way it's going to go? Make your bet at Sports Interaction, whether it's the World Cup, hockey, football, basketball. Sports Interaction has you covered. You can bet pregame. What else can you bet?
Live in play or
And what
on
else?
one of their many prop bets.
That's right. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and
Cash out.
Thank you. Join now to see all that sports betting has to offer. Want to bet? Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Our next sponsor is actually pretty cool. It's called Athletic Greens. Jesse can
Yes.
speak to this directly.
Yes.
You're
it is
looking-
incredible.
Do you have better gut health now?
I do.
More energy?
Yes.
Stronger immune system? I actually have never seen you
100%.
sick. You're weird
I
that way.
don't get sick very often is because I do things like take Athletic Greens.
Yeah. Okay. So you got to check it out.
Lend
now,
me some.
what is in Athletic Greens?
Use our code.
It's 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. And you ask what's in Athletic Greens. Well, that's all in Jesse now. Right?
It's inside of me.
It's inside of him.
And then I poop it out.
It's a special blend of ingredients that supports your gut health,
You know,
your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, your recovery, your focus, your aging. Look at him. He looks positively 20.
Hopefully. I don't know.
Yeah. Listen, it's if
I don't know
you
about
could
that
try
one.
it out.
the camera.
Time to
Yeah.
reclaim your
looks
health and
awful.
arm your immune system. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you 1 free year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. And all you have to do is go to athleticgreens.com with the promo code SDP.
athleticgreens.com/SDP
Sorry, yes.
will take you directly to that offer.
Again, that is athleticgreens.com/SDP to take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate in daily nutritional insurance. Jesse,
Yes,
you like it?
I do.
You're into it?
I'm into it.
What else do you need? This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. And, you know, one of the things that we know about the holiday season is it can be very hard. You've got the time changing, you've got the cold weather, at least up in Canada we do, if you're listening from a hot weather climate. You know, and you know what? Frankly, it's just a lot of stress. It doesn't have to be, therapy doesn't have to be something that you jump into because everything's burning down around you. Sometimes it's like, you know what? I'm feeling a little stressed and I want an unbiased opinion on my life.
That's not bad.
Right?
Good thing to have.
BetterHelp is a good option for you. It's cheaper than regular therapy. It's the world's largest therapy service, matched over 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists, available 100% online, and it's affordable, like I said. You fill out a brief questionnaire. They match you with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can switch to a new therapist. No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist, because you got to have a little chemistry, right? You got to have somebody that you feel understands you. You can learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/SDP. That's betterhelp.com/SDP.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
Don't forget, cheer for Canada today at 2 o'clock versus Belgium, even though this episode will likely come out after the game.
What? Bullshit. I'm going to have my eyes on the waiver wire. I can't wait for Wayne Simmons to get claimed off of waivers, and that's the biggest story.
We have, don't forget as well, sign up for our mailing list on sdpn.ca. Once you sign up for our mailing list, you're going to get a discount code tomorrow morning for Black Friday sales on sdpnshop.ca. There's going to be a ton of new items added tonight as well. Some t-shirt ideas that the Discord has asked for.
Oh, I love that.
Including,
I love that.
Steve, can you give me a big shambolic?
Shambolic!
There's going to be shambolic
Love
t-shirts
that.
in there. So.
Actually?
Yeah.
How much Devils merch are we selling?
0.
What the hell's wrong
We
with
actually we sell the hoodies, which are based off the Devils. We sell the shirts. We sell the hats. The mugs.
Those are still some of the best-selling stuff.
Those are easily the best-selling items in our shop.
And they're still selling.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what's so weird.
People love the hoodies and the sweaters.
All right.
Go grab those on discount this Black Friday if you sign up for the mailing list and you sign up for the Discord as well. If you miss out on the mailing list, you always get the code there. All right. So we have an update from last episode. Michael at the _CAC had asked us last episode what name he should get on the back of his New York Rangers reverse retro jersey. Steve and I voted for Malik. Adam voted for some other guy.
Mike Richter.
Wrong.
Hall of Famer.
Wrong.
Cup winner.
Michael tweeted back at us and said, bet. Sorry, Adam Wild, you made good points. Leach was number 3, by the way. I think you said...
no, he was number 2.
He was number 2. Oh, okay. Michael, you got that wrong. Leafs legend. But you're a Devils fan now. Stay tuned for the reveal.
Oh,
So it
I thought
sounds
you
like-
meant he was ranked 3rd, and I was trying to make a joke, but you were being serious.
Oh, no, I didn't get your joke.
Oh, no, he wore number 2.
Okay, good.
Ruined it.
He was, yeah, never mind. Michael says, stay tuned for the reveal. So, Michael, once you get that Malik jersey, hopefully you do, you better send us a picture and we'll show it on the show.
Yeah, you better. Fun. Bad investment, Mike. Bad investment.
Great. The only investment.
What else we got?
You make
That's
meme
pull up the
investments. That's what I've learned on Twitter.
What's that?
You make meme investments.
Yeah.
You invest $44 billion for the lols.
Did you see there was some guy that got a Ovechkin Leafs jersey at the game the other day?
Did.
Yeah.
People are very odd.
I'm not sure what that is.
Being difficult. A waste of money.
A waste.
Dumb.
Yeah. Couldn't be worse than wearing a Jerkshire 69 jersey. Couldn't be worse.
This question
I think
comes
it is.
from a Gewin92, Kings fan. Let's see if this question can make it. It has. Well done. For Adam and Steve, because I don't have children, when would you guys say would be the right times to take your kids to their first Leafs game? For context, I've seen pictures of my sister, her husband, and their young son at a few Kings games, and they look like they had a great time.
I'd say no younger than 4.
Yeah, I would say that. So Natalie's friends have a young son. His name's Jax, and he's allowed to stay up till 8:00 at night. See, I put Everly to bed at 7, so she's never seen a Leafs game. But Jax stays up till 8, and they did the funniest thing with him because he'd have to go to bed, and he knew there was the rest of the game, so he'd always ask in the morning what happened in the game, and they'd always tell him that the Leafs won. And only recently have they started telling him it's possible for the Leafs to lose, and sometimes they don't win every time.
I love
because they didn't want to make him cry because he was crying whenever he found out they lost. So he'd see the first period, then go to bed, and it's great because he's missed all the third period meltdowns the Leafs have ever had.
The Leafs have only ever won.
Yeah, which is hilarious. But he knows every player, and they've actually brought him to a couple of games. And this kid is 3, and they started bringing him last season, so he'd have been 2.5. And knows every player and knows their numbers and is very amped. Like when the game starts and the lights come up and all this stuff that happens, he absolutely freaks out. So I think it is all kid dependent. I'll tell you this, being the cheapskate that I am, and you wouldn't know that from all my Devils merch. I wouldn't
business write-off.
I won't. I'm taking Everly to a Marlies game first, and the reason is it's $20. If she says I hate this, I don't want to be here, we're out.
Easy
it's also
exit.
in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's easy access. Leafs tickets are a premium seat. They are hundreds of dollars, each one of them. So to me, for my kid and her preferences, I'm not forcing her to like hockey. I want to teach her to skate this winter, that sort of thing. But I would say I'm not bringing her till she's 7 or 8 years old, or shows some serious interest in it.
Mhm.
And that's fair because she likes other things. She loves motor racing,
Mhm.
loves soccer. So that's what she likes right now.
The Marlies thing is such a good point because the Marlies, in a lot of ways, is more kid friendly.
It's the family.
They cater
Yeah,
to
family
more,
leagues.
to more family content, and you can get tickets for under $20.
Yep.
On occasion, you get $15 tickets to the Marlies. Yeah.
Mhm.
The timing is the biggest hurdle for me. I used to have the opinion I'm not going to take Leo to a game until he can remember it, but like you're allowed to enjoy experiences you don't remember.
Yeah.
And also,
It's also for you too.
Yeah.
well, it's for me too, but also Leo loves soccer, loves hockey, loves baseball.
Mhm.
And I wasn't there, unfortunately, but my wife went with her parents and brought him to a Jays game. He loved baseball, and now he loves baseball more.
Mm.
And he's not going to remember going to that game, but eventually when he starts making memories, baseball might be his favorite sport because he went to that game. And he knows John Tavares because he has a John Tavares stuffy, but he knows Bo Bichette because he loves the Jays. And also he really likes saying it. Bo Bichette.
So he's been to a game, like he's been to a sporting event. You went to the Jays. What was the decision where you're like, okay, it's time to bring him to a Blue Jays game?
I think it's a little different with us because like Leo's still never been on a train. Even like we've started after living in a bubble for so long. We're like, okay, we need to find this kid some experiences. Like we gotta start testing the boundaries, and he's at a very testing the boundaries age. I want to bring him to stuff. The Oshawa Generals have like a really disappointing amount of afternoon games, which is weird because it's junior. But yeah, I want to start taking him to games. He's interested in everything, and he's not like afraid of big noises. He lives with me after all. I scared the back-to-back game against the Hurricanes that started at 5 a few weeks ago. Oh, did I scare the shit out of him?
Oh, because you were yelling?
Well, yeah. And instead of him just crying, which I made my friend's kid cry once because we were watching a game, and I went, yeah! And they went, ah! I went, yeah! And he turned around and be like, ah! Like, initially looked terrified and then started clapping.
You are loud. You are loud.
And I don't mean to, but it comes out.
There it is.
This question comes from Florida man Matt Maroon.
Oh.
Will Steve get a giraffe tattoo next?
Yeah. That's the plan. No, so I have a lion now, and I have a loon. And they're not related to the zoo.
No.
They're not.
That was the joke here.
They're not.
You're not getting any Toronto Zoo related tattoos?
No. I'm not
Okay.
really going to even show this one off because it's not done.
Oh, you mean not now?
Oh, not now.
Eventually.
No. Because it looks a little...
It's not done.
Yeah, it looks incomplete because it is. So,
I'm excited to see it. Why a loon?
me too. It's a big piece of Canadiana.
Are you Canadian?
Yeah, a little bit.
Mhm.
It to me represents peace and tranquility, which even though I am a very loud person, I am trying to be a man of peace and live a more tranquil life.
Mhm.
I like the idea of the lion and the loon as someone who screams for a living, sometimes when I'm angry and sometimes when I'm silly. I think I can be a lion and a bit of a loon. There's the lucky loony. There's the fact that I married a Scottish girl, and that makes me a Bonnie loon. There's a lot there.
Okay.
All right. And when's it going to be done? You're going back in for another session?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm hoping someone cancels and I can get in a couple weeks.
Oh, okay.
And
So not soon.
a couple weeks is pretty soon.
I thought because you did a 5-hour session yesterday. Like I don't have giant tattoos or anything, so I thought like maybe you do it again this Saturday. You know,
No.
but no, that's not how it works.
No, maybe I think latest mid-January.
Oh wow. Okay. Next question. I can do this one quickly.
It's the winter, right? I'm not going to look stupid for long.
This one comes from Jacob_47. What's stopping Seattle from after the World Juniors to loaning Shane Wright again to their AHL team? The stint is 10 games. That's the max, or 5 games. 5 or 10 games, I forget. Whatever the stint he's going down for, that's the max amount of the loan, and he has to come back for the Montreal game, and then go to World Juniors or get scratched for the Montreal game. There's a max amount to the loan. If we didn't explain that properly last time.
And there's also certain criteria that need to be met. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I saw Shane Wright. He scored his first goal in his first game in the AHL. Looked dominant. I hope Shane Wright is the last player who has to go through this.
That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, but like we need to have a conversation. There was a really interesting conversation on the Chris Johnston show about it, and basically people representing the leagues in Sweden urged NHL general managers, listen, do not take players from the Swedish leagues if you're just going to play them in the American Hockey League, because you're hurting our domestic product. And when you hurt our domestic product, you hurt the product at large, and we're not going to be able to produce as many good players. This is the argument that I assume the Canadian Hockey League would make, is you're hurting the domestic product. My question would be, how many guys are we talking about?
Probably 2 to 3 a year.
And like, there's the domestic leagues in Sweden, and then there's the Canadian Hockey League, which has 60 teams spread across a country of 37 million people. I just don't think it would have the same dent.
No. I get the Swedish argument far more than I get the CHL argument. You're telling me that we're not going to be able to develop the same players if Shane Wright isn't playing in the OHL?
We have more leagues. We have more players. We have more teams.
It's a bigger country. It's different. I get it.
Yeah. And the loan max is 5 games or 14 days. And you can only qualify for a loan if you have been scratched for 5 consecutive games at the NHL level. So those are the rules there.
There's a path where Seattle looked like geniuses at the end of all this. And their trade deadline acquisition is their own player.
I keep waiting for that to happen.
I think we're all in agreement that one day Shane Wright's going to be a very good player. It's just the path that for him to get there has been, I don't think, the best for his development.
He feels like accelerated Jack Eichel.
Yeah.
Like we're making this kid bitter early, and he's just going to play with that chip on his shoulder the rest of his career.
This one's a little bit of trivia for the two of you, the hockey hero, since we are talking about the Kraken. Do you remember the first player taken for the Kraken and the Golden Knights since their most recent expansion teams?
Brendan Manel. No, I'm kidding. No.
Who are the first players?
Well, they have to be Ducks, don't they?
No, we're talking about their first signings.
It was that third. The guy never played for them, but I remember that they signed a kid.
Yeah. I think he did. I think he might have played a game.
And but they did a bunch of social media with him, which was hilarious.
The first ever Vegas Golden Knight.
Cody something?
What's his name? And then we'll move on to the Kraken.
Is it Cody?
I'm thinking of a C name.
It is, right?
Is it a C name?
No. It is not.
And he first or last? No.
He was like a third round type talent.
No, he wasn't even a draft.
I know, that's what I mean. Like,
so they just signed him, right? Who is he? What's his name? You got a couple more seconds. Giving you
Seattle. I have no idea.
20
seconds. I don't know.
His last name's a name that the people sometimes name like old dogs from like the 90s. It's also a university.
Spot. Rover.
It's a university.
Chance. Shadow.
Blue color.
Milo. Otis.
Blue color.
Syracuse.
They're good at basketball. Really good at basketball.
That's orange.
Really good basketball. Blue team.
North Carolina.
They're the rivals.
Tar Heels.
They're the North Carolina rivals.
Duke.
Is it Kentucky?
There you go. Duke.
Oh, Duke.
That's his last name. Duke's like a dog name from the 90s.
Reed Duke.
Yeah. Reed Duke. Hey! I won't get the Seattle one, so I'm not even going to bother.
Reed Duke, who was a 6th round draft pick of the Minnesota Wild in 2014, was the first ever signing by the Vegas Golden Knights. Did he play a game for them?
I don't
know. He only played for the Henderson Silver Knights, never for the actual Golden Knights.
Now he's a point-a-game player in Slovakia.
2 games, 2 points. For the Seattle Kraken, do you want to take a crack at who their first ever signing was?
Was it a goalie?
I don't know if he's a goalie.
Adam Larson.
That's not correct. Let's see if this man is a goalie
I
here.
think it was a goalie.
Nope, he is a center. He shoots left.
No.
Never played a game for the Seattle Kraken.
No idea.
Luke Henman.
Yeah, no way. I
Yeah.
wouldn't know that one.
No.
Luke Henman, a 4th-round draft pick of the Carolina Hurricanes in 2018, never played a game for the Seattle Kraken.
And he's played 12 games in the AHL this year. No points, -3. That's tough.
Not great,
That's tough.
but he's in history forever.
4th round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's it.
Reed
Go
Duke.
Canada.
I'm very upset about that.
Yeah, you should have got Reed Duke.
I know we should have.
What's the score in the on Sports Interaction? Who are you putting your money on, Belgium or Canada?
I'm hoping for a draw.
Mm.
If you're betting, I think you take Belgium. They're the 2nd-ranked country in the world.
Upsets happen, baby.
But,
Alphonso Davies.
I'm just looking at this, by the way. Oh, sorry. Morocco and Croatia, who are also in Canada's division, tied today.
Is that good for Canada?
It's bad for Canada.
I don't think we like that.
No, we don't like that because we need Morocco to lose, right? And we need Belgium to beat Croatia, and we need to tie Belgium, hopefully tie Croatia, and then beat Morocco. And
So
that's
much.
your only chance. Like I mean, listen, if they pull off an upset against Belgium today, who's missing their big striker, it would be the craziest thing that's ever happened in Canadian soccer. Would be the biggest win.
1-1.
But they gotta win. They gotta win a game, and you gotta beat Morocco when you do. And Morocco is no slouch. They're a good team.
Yeah.
And then
Croatia's good too.
and you gotta hope. Yeah, Croatia's amazing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is that like Morocco's good, Canada's good.
That's the World
Croatia and
Cup.
Belgium are amazing.
It's the World Cup.
Yeah. By the way, looks like Manchester United will be. They're looking for strategic alternatives for the team, meaning they're going to sell it. The Glazer family bought it for $1.47 billion in 2005. They should get at least $4.6 billion for it.
I was going to say, that's a steal.
Yeah,
Whoa,
all
holy
things
shit.
considered, yeah.
They paid nothing for it.
And I'm pretty sure they bought it from the former Montreal Canadiens owner, George Gillette. I'm pretty sure he owned the Canadiens and Manchester United, unless he owned Liverpool at the same time. It's crazy.
Wow.
Gillette family, they've made razors for 100 years.
I don't know what you're
So,
talking about.
yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, look at your face. It's all messy.
Yeah.
It's
Disheveled today. No gel either.
5.6 to 1 that Canada wins versus Belgium. Oof, not great odds.
Mm-hmm.
What's a draw?
4.2.
Oh, wow.
Belgium's a heavy favorite here.
Wowzers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Well, we'll see how it all goes. Go Canada. We love
Do
you.
we have a champ?
It's Canada. Yeah. That's what the EU.
I think it's,
that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what the hashtag is.
Man, listen. All I got is this ambition.
I don't like that.
Honestly, it'd be great if they just played Hotline Bling every time that Canada scored or something
Why
like
that
that.
song?
I don't know, just because it's so not pumping. Like, he doesn't have... I mean, what would you play if it was a Drake song?
Trophies?
Trophies? Yeah, I guess.
No, Burn It to the Ground by Nickelback.
Yeah! There you go. Real music.
The Steve Dangle Podcast.
Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada's Sportsbook.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.